All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Molly G, back at y'all on the episode of Running With You. And tonight we got to run about this clip I came across with DJ Academics breaking down how Anthony Edwards finessed to only have to pay $3,000 a month in child support. I mean, this is unheard of. Usually, guys that's on Anthony Edwards level, they be having to pay like 20,000 a month. So maybe he didn't crack some type of code. Maybe he didn't you know, set the blueprint, so whatever he did, and I think $3,000 a month is very fair to what a man should have to pay. Like I always said, it should be a limit to where, certain men of certain status and money should have to, you know, pay for their child, like because the child is still going to live that same lifestyle as the parent, when he's with the parent, or some way somehow still going to have way more advantages, than the average kid. So without further ado, let's go ahead on and get into DG Academics breaking this down.
He wanted nothing to do with her after having a kid. She said, "All right, fine. Well, you got to pay up. You nutted in this. You got to pay up, my boy." And this is how the finesse goes. And I'm giving the athletes, I'm giving y'all the cheat code. Please tap in. So remember, I said, like in Texas, they look at child support as there's a cap to it. In California, there is no cap. And actually, it's one of the worst states to be a millionaire or especially an athlete and have a baby mama. Because if you've ever seen those wild numbers, a lot of it come from California. We're like, yo, they're getting paid 40,000 a month. California is a place that is going to give you the bag. So here's the finesse that Anthony Edwards did. Anthony Edwards been fighting his baby mom to say, hey, check this out. She wants to do family court to fight for child support in California because she's going to get the bag. He said, no, no, Georgia is the right court for us. Georgia courts favor not giving you some wild ass bag just because you got a kid. And Anthony Edwards won the legal battle to have child support determined in Georgia. Not only did he win that, he actually then gets awarded or gets ordered to pay $3,222 a month for the child. Devastating blow for the baby mama. The baby mama probably wanted at least 20, 30,000. Your fruit jams in the chat. What up?
That's crazy. Okay, now if y'all not familiar with her, this is Aisha Howard. She also has a baby for little baby, and she literally goes around trying to put herself, in these atmospheres of these, men with high status, you know, lots of money, so she can have a baby. And though a lot of women, they will rather be a baby mama than a wife, because if you're getting 20, 30, 40,000 from one man, 20, 30, 40,000 from another man each month, that is a lot of money per month for a kid. Well, more than what the kid actually needs, and a lot of people feel like, the kid should be living the same type of lifestyle as the father. And a lot of women said, yeah, you're right. The kid should be living the same lifestyle as the father. But in reality, they're trying to live the same lifestyle as the father. Just because they had a baby with this man, they're trying to live the same lifestyle as the father, even though they're not with the man because they're separated. So they trying to use these kids in order to fund their lifestyle because what kid need 20, $30,000 a month? No kid. I don't care what private school you go to. I don't care about, how much you trying to pay for leisure and fun and, no kid needs that. 3,000 is well more than enough for what the kid need. The thing is, these women don't want to work. The thing is, these women just want to sit around and collect a check every month, go on trips every month, have certain makeup, hair done, wear certain outfits, live certain lavish lifestyles, like hopping out of black trucks for Uber Black to go to the finest dining restaurant, showing up in their own car that is funded by the child support. Like, it's not baby mama support, it's child support. They want to get the best. Oh, well, the baby gotta go to school. Let me drop him off in Lambo. Oh, well, the baby gotta go to school. Let me make sure my hair is laid. Up, the baby gotta go to uh Disneyland. Let me go take a trip to Disneyland all the way in California. You know, like it they try to make it seem like it's about the child, but it's not about the child. It's about them, you know. And I always say a cap is very fine, or they should do like a certain special card where you can only swipe this card for kids' needs at all. Because what they do is they get these cards, they get this money, and they just go rampant on themselves. Like, let's be honest, and other men, and a lot of men just don't like that because one thing about a man, you want to give your money and your resources to whichever is necessary for the child. And a lot of men feel like, you know, whatever my money is doing, I just want it all to be for the child. And some people feel like, well, as long as the child is taken care of, it shouldn't matter. But nah, dog, people is just trying to get a free ride. Let's just call a spade a spade. You know, and this girl right here is predatory towards men. And it's crazy how Anthony Edwards would just get her pregnant right after knowing she had a child with a little baby. You would think that these athletes would just say, okay, let me wrap it up and be smart. But no, they go ahead on and get these same women pregnant all the time. And these women literally be plotting on these men, looking them up, searching them up, seeing their net worth, all that type of stuff. But lust gonna always be the downfall, especially within our black men, you know, because they see these Instagram models and stuff while they in high school. So once they get into college and getting that NIL deal and getting drafted high and getting that first big contract, they coming after a lot of these women, you know. So it ain't about the woman, just being predatory to them. Shoot, sometimes the men be wanting them just as much as they want them, you know. Um, I think that she also was trying to get a higher wage because she actually tried to move to California before all this went down in court, so she could be a resident of California just so she could get the higher pay. Like that's crazy. Wanting to just relocate your whole uh whatever you got going on to another state just so you could get a higher expense monthly for the quote unquote kid. Like the system has to be reworked. I think the whole concept of marriage, I think the whole concept of, you know, uh, child support, I think a lot of these things need to be reworked because at, as life and progression goes on, people try to manipulate systems, and it's just time for certain things to enough is enough. You know. Now, one thing I can say about Anthony Edwards, at first when he was doing all this, I ain't really had no respect for him because I think he tried to sign his rights away or something. If you know more about this story, feel free to put it down in the comment section. But I think he tried to sign his rights away or something like that. Ain't want nothing to do with the child because he wanted her to abort the you know he wanted her to have an abortion, but she was against that. So he was like, well, okay, well, if you not gonna have the abortion, I'll just sign my rights away and I don't want to have nothing to do with the child and you won't be able to get nothing. Because when you sign your rights away, I think you kind of forfeiting you having to have any responsibility, and then the mother has very 100% sole custody and you don't really have to do nothing. Now, I guess he stopped whatever he was gonna do with that and said, okay, well, if I'm gonna have to pay child support, I'm gonna go ahead and pay a lump sum all together in one. So however much it is monthly, I just want to pay that up for 18 years. But some people kind of debunked that and said, man, that's no way possible you could do that. Instead of her just getting a free ride every month, check check in and out monthly and just living the lifestyle, I'll just give you one big old balance. And whatever you do with that, you do with it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to blow it. And, you know, I guess people debunked that and that wasn't true. So his best thing was to just, instead of going to California, get in Atlanta because I think he live in Atlanta. I think he from Atlanta, even though he plays in Minnesota. I wonder what the difference between um Minnesota laws and Atlanta laws would have been when it comes to this, but obviously I'm guessing Atlanta was more in his favor. So, but the judge actually knew, she was doing these type of actions and stuff, and was just like, nah, you ain't about to just be. rocking like that. And I guess he said $3,000 a month opposed to original 20,000 requests. So that was a good move. I think a lot of other athletes are gonna take heed to these things and they're gonna try to do what's best for them. But yeah, man, it's getting crazy. Like older women are just preying on younger men. Like I think she's like 39. I think Anthony's like 24. And all they trying to do is just secure a child. Like women don't want to be married. Women want to be baby mamas to rich men. You know, and I think somebody had tweeted. Let me find it because I know somebody had tweeted something and I'm kind of made a comment to it. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Somebody said, I think if judges start capping that child support at 3,000, we see a lot less of these babies. 48 a year, 48K a year, not really worth trapping an athlete. I I I disagree with that. I think they'll still want clout and association regardless. Because the fact that we're talking about her and we know her name now, Aisha Howard, and she's associated with being Anthony Edwards' baby mama and Lil Baby mama, that right there alone puts her in algorithm. That right there alone can secure her bookings for walkthroughs. That can alone secure her bookings for interviews to tell her side of the story. That right there alone can book her model shoots, uh, get into movies, and it opens so many doors just by being associated with that. Like a woman can be proud just to say they baby daddy is such and such, even though it was a one night stand you know, versus some women saying, "Oh, I'm married to this man, but this man is a nobody." You know, Women want the association with that. That's why you seen Brittany Renner at like 34 years old going through all her DMs like, "Oh, look at this guy, look at this guy, look at this guy." Women associate themselves with men, as a flex, even though these men just sleep with them and move on, or wanna sleep with them. That's how they feel their value is. You know. Um, so yeah, man, it's still clout is a hell of a drug, and just being associated with a man of a certain caliber and status is a flex to them, because they're ready to get pregnant by Anthony Edwards than a regular dude working at Amazon. That's how they distinguish that they value what type of man can they attract, you know. And for them, just getting a baby is securing the bag, you know. And $48,000 a month for a kid, man, that's still a lot of money, dog. Like for the average girl to just get $3,000 a month from the athlete baby mama, I mean athlete baby daddy, shoot, that's still good, you know. Let's see, and it's actually $36,000 for the year if you're getting $3,000 a month. So yeah, man. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Do y'all feel like $3,000 is more than fair, or do you think that you know he should have more? Let me go ahead on and read her. Let me go ahead on and look up her response to this because she made a lengthy response to this, and a lot of people weren't having no sympathy for what she was saying. Uh, Okay, here's her response. I'm fully aware of the rumors and narratives circulating online regarding my family and my child's financial future. While the intense media attention is overwhelming, the negative backlash directed at the innocent child and mother is deeply troubling. Much of what is being published by the blogs, some of which have been paid to spin narratives to protect a client's reputation, is entirely false and disconnected from reality. However, whether true or false, this situation highlights a devastating cycle in our community. How ironic she's saying that. The normalization of absent fathers and lack of parental accountability. How ironic she's saying that when she literally was wanting to get pregnant by these dudes just so she could have access to their lifestyle and get 20, $30,000 a month. You just is in the wrong as the man because you keeping the cycle going as well. And then she tried to talk down on regular women saying, oh, just because you mad at me because I'm beautiful, you mad at me because I can attract this man and all this and all that. Like, come on, man, you know what you're doing. Tragically, our community often feeds into this negativity, inadvertently applauding behavior that's keep black children at the highest percentile of living in single parent household. According to US Census Bureau, approximately 47% to 50% of black children live without a resident father. While we thrive in sports, fashion, and culture, we're failing to uphold what it truly means to be men, fathers, and providers. See, that's all that they want. They want uh, a baby daddy and a provider. That's all they want. They don't want no husband. They don't want no husband, bro. Like she ain't trying to be out here. Uh, and of course, when it comes to women, you want to select the best man, that can protect and provide for you. This has been like this since the dawn of time. But certain women can be predatory with this, and certain women can be, uh, you're not really so much worried about having a family dynamic. You so much worried as having a baby as a cash cow. So that's that's wrong in my opinion. And men wrong too for just having multiple different baby mamas and kids all over the place and not be able to grow up in one household. So it's just as bad on the fellas too. I ain't just here just bashing a woman, like men gotta take accountability as well. Like what Nick Cannon is doing and going around having all these kids, future, all these guys, like I don't subscribe to that either. Um I am a mother of one out of three children who have been abandoned by a celebrated athlete. Damn, so she got three kids. So she must got two by little baby. Or the other baby dad, I don't know who he is. If y'all know who that other one is, if it's a third one, let me know in the comment section. Because of my platform, my story receives the most attention. But see what I'm saying? She got a platform because these men. um, But beyond the entertainment value, the clicks, the views, the painful reality is that three children are growing up fatherless. This is not due to lack of resources, health, or opportunity. It is conscious choice. A man can take that jersey off his back, shoes off his feet, and sign for the fans, yet his own three children are missing the same signature on their birth certificates and have never met him. Yeah, so I guess he signed his rights away at first or something like that. Because if you sign your rights away, you don't put your name on a birth certificate. So maybe there's some truth to that. Um, but if he paying 3,000 a month, he gotta sign a birth certificate. So I'm not sure how that's working. Um, let's see. And have never met him. Furthermore, the narrative labeling these mothers as gold diggers for seeking proper care is entirely false. None of the mothers filed for child support initially. The father took each mother to court himself, choosing legal maneuvers over showing up for his children, effectively using the legal system to vanish from their lives. While the internet remains invested in rumors, these are the facts of the matter. We cannot correct a cycle of abstinence if we continue to excuse it. My legal team and I possess all the facts, the evidence, and documentation regarding these proceedings, and we will move forward accordingly. Rumors will not dictate the final outcome. Thank you for your time, respect, and our privacy. You. Now you want privacy and stuff when things don't go your way. Because I guarantee you, if she was awarded that 20,000, she'd have been making videos, flexing and all that. Because as soon as she had got Anthony, it was pregnant. I mean, pregnant by Anthony Edwards, she was just making videos and stuff, flexing. And she fine. Don't get me wrong, she looked good, but man, I don't know, bro. I just think that the best thing we can do is do a cap. That's the best thing we can do. Maybe that will at least say, okay, well, do I really want a child by him if I'm only gonna get this? I don't think it's gonna just, eliminate a lot I don't think it's gonna eliminate it completely, but it might, slow things down a little bit. So that's what we could do moving forward. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section. Y'all more so in agreement with the $3,000 being, more than enough, or it's not enough and the kid should live the same type of lifestyle as the father? Do you agree with A- Asia is saying? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you went through a lot of these things with, the child support process and things of that nature, let me know. Because I can tell you a lot of dudes had kids with women and been keeping receipts since day one. Went up in there to child support court and they told him that was a gift. Well, let me know down in the comment section, man. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you waiting on? Until next time, I'm out.